It's Lee Tarrier here from PWMania.com with the one, the only man like Dereiss. Dereiss, how are you doing, bruv? You all right?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm really, really good. I'm really, really looking forward to your match on February the 25th at Progress, Twisted Metal against Yoichi. We'll go into that. But I mean, I have to start by saying the year, it started off for you, very big, man. Appearances across the States with GCW. You've come home. You've got stuff with Soft Pro coming up, Kamikaze, and obviously the big match. How do you feel 2024 has begun for you?
I'm very happy about that because I remember I said to Shah Samuels like last year, like we was grafting, we were kidding ourselves inside the Rev Pro unit in London. I was like, bro, this isn't gonna pay off now or next week. It's gonna pay off in the future, and I feel like that sort of stuff are starting to pay off now. So yeah, it's been the wheels have been in motion for some while now.
Yeah, how's it been out in the States doing stuff with GCW? I know you've been there before and you did some stuff over WrestleMania week last year. How do you find it out there and the fans' reactions?
I think this has been my best tour so far, 100%, because I went over, like I say, Mania week last year, but it was so chaotic, just a chaotic week. So much to do, so much wrestling. And then I went over in November and had a great time then as well. I had a really good time in November. But then that made me think, how can I top that for this February? Um, well, I feel like this has been my best tour of the US yet. I met loads of people. I made great friends with some people who like I just knew before. I had some great opponents in Chris Bay, Fuego del Sol, Sam Stackhouse, Masha Slamovich. I felt like I was able to really let the US know who I am and make my mark there.
Yeah, which is brilliant, mate, and totally deserved. I mean, you've been on the scene for a long time now. Fantastic in tag team wrestling. Obviously, 0121, Boisterous Behavior, what you've been doing with Slater, with Maloney back in the day. But now I feel like, and it's been there, especially in Progress, which I've seen a lot of, there's, and other promotions. You've collected belts. There's a real strength in singles wrestling. Is that where you see yourself going forward?
Um, I would say I'd like to be ready for any scenario that is put in front of me. I like to think of myself as a versatile wrestler because not only have I done singles matches, I've done tag matches, I've wrestled like in indie matches, wrestled on the camps, wrestled at family shows. So I'd like to be versatile. I wouldn't say because I love tagging with Leon. We get on real well, like my little brother now, and I love tagging with him. So I wouldn't want to say I want to move away from that. But at the same time, I want to win singles championships. I want to win tournaments, and I want to just get as far in this as possible. Oh, sorry, just something's come up on the screen.
No, that's cool, mate. Yeah, I can hear you loud and
There you go.
clear. I guess it's really interesting to hear that then when you talk about obviously wrestling different styles. How did you come about, like, your training and everything? How did things move up? And how does different uh, promotions, different audiences differ in terms of your style? You talk about the camps and stuff like that. We obviously know you've been out to America, you're back home here. How does different things, how does it all differ? And how did you sort of train to be ready for all those?
Well, I say different different crowds sometimes respond differently to different things. So the only way to learn how to perform in front of that crowd is to wrestle in front of several crowds and try and work out what the crowd wants. So like children react differently to adults, and adults react differently to adults who watch wrestling all the time. If you know what I mean. So it's like it's the same, but it's different. I remember that from college actually. I swear that's like Steve Neal theory.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it is, but yeah, it's something like that. But it's the same, but it's different. And luckily, I've had some great trainers to help me and to guide me and teach me along the way. But yeah, I enjoy wrestling in lots of different audiences and different match types completely. So yeah, luckily, especially 2021, 2022 for me, where like the Lyrical Dragon tour really began, and I was wrestling like so many shows over a short period of time. When I over the year period, but in like it'd be like one weekend I'd wrestle like 6 shows. But I
Wow.
gained lots of experience in a quick amount of time.
And that's just brilliant, mate. And you've seen it, and I've seen it, especially as we've sort of come out of the pandemic, and you've grown and grown and grown, and you're up and down the country in different promotions. What state do you think British independent wrestling is in now? We're in 2024. How you feel it is as a place to work?
I feel like it's definitely on the way up. I feel like it was obviously the big boom period in like the late 2010s, and then we had like actually a lot of people left the scene
Yeah,
um, due to speaking out and due to being signed. So I feel like at the start of 2020, well, at the start of 2021, when wrestling came back, it was back to basics again. But I feel like we weren't starting from scratch like the previous generation. We had been brought back, but we still had like a good foundation to build on. So I feel like we've been working relentlessly to bring the scene back up, and I feel like we're going in that direction. Not just me, people like us, Jim, Dan Maloney, Leon Slater, Omari, um, Young Guns, whole rosters, like the whole progress roster, Sunshine Machine. I'll be here naming names all day, but I feel like,
of course.
you know, the guys who were here at the start of 2021 grafting, like we know who they are, they know who they are, and I got a lot of respect for all of them. Ricky Knight Jr., give him a shout out to.
Cool. But that's the thing, isn't it? Because I mean, when you came back, it was after the pandemic. It was after NXT UK speaking out and all that. Did it feel tough at first? And did you feel like, as a group, you were all like, right, come on, let's create a new class, a new generation, and let's make this work? Because the crowds are there and the crowds are loving what's going on.
I think for me personally, my mindset was there are now spots in British wrestling which need to be filled. So I remember training relentlessly with me, Dan, Lee Hunter, Millie McKenzie, Omari, training in the Hunter Brothers unit, just grafting, training, squats, press ups, everything, um, ready to take over the scene for when it came back. And I feel like that was able to propel us ahead of other people because as soon as we was allowed to start training again, we just put in as much effort as possible.
Yeah, and it's paying off, mate, and praise to you for that. I mean, in progress, there's definitely, I've seen a sense of, your work has always been great. You're really over with the fans. We love you, even whether it's been the fun of unboxing and the kind of Del Boy angle, but, being yourself in tag and singles action, you really smashed it out of the park. How would you how would you view your progress run so far coming up to this match against Yoichi on February the 25th?
I've definitely had some of my best matches and favorite matches at Progress, like against Luke Jacobs, Leo Rush. They're two of my favorite matches.
Incredible.
I've had wrestled some very good wrestlers as well. World class wrestlers such as Mark Haskins, Velocities, Sunshine Machine. So like now though, this year I want to be wrestling the very, very best wrestlers Progress has to offer. People who are grafting, people who are wrestling across the country, across the globe as well, because I want to be in um that select few of wrestlers who people regard as being one of the best wrestlers on the planet. And the only way to do that is to wrestle other people who are also in that bracket. So Yoichi a perfect start to the year for me in Progress because he's a serious wrestler, he's real, he works hard, he's in good shape, and they're the people I want to be surrounding myself with.
Yeah, brilliant. And I guess by the end of 2024, like, what are your major ambitions across the world? You've been in GCW, you're doing well, you've got a big match in progress. What are the major ambitions? If we said, here it is, we're at the end of 2024. Who would you want to take on to get to the top, and what would you like to achieve?
I want to just keep building on being one of the top indie wrestlers on the planet. So the only way I can do that is to take it week by week, match by match. I need to look after myself. I need to eat well. I need to go to the gym. I need to stay focused. I need to stay disciplined. And personally, I would like to go to some countries that I haven't visited yet, such as like Japan, Australia, France, Belgium. Um, I want to go back to a lot of places like Denmark. That was great.
Nice.
But yeah, I want to just wrestle the best wrestlers on the planet, have some of the best matches on the planet, rank high in the PWI, higher than I did previously, and just keep building and building and building. And hopefully by the end of 2024, I'll be in a good place where I can look back in the year and feel like the hard work has paid off.
I'm sure you will, mate. And I guess then looking back across your career, what are some of your favorite ever matches, whether they're singles, tags? What are some of the best you've ever been in across any promotion?
Um, oh, that's a hard one because now I have to think of every match
I
I've
bet.
ever been in. I just remember when I wrestled Luke Jacobs at Progress. I remember for ages thinking I loved that match.
It was hard
Um,
hitting as hell, man. It was
oh yeah,
very hard
he
hitting.
is.
I bet you felt that one.
But I love the 1PW 4-way tag ladder match that we had because although 1PW ended up crashing and burning, we still had some of our great most memorable moments in our careers there. Me and Leon, with the rest of the Rascals as well. But yeah, specifically the ladder match. Um, Singles matches. I enjoyed wrestling Lee Moriarty a lot. That's my debut at JCW. I enjoyed that. And like I said earlier, Leo Rush, because he was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah,
Like when I first found out about indie wrestling, he was definitely one of the people that I enjoyed watching, him and Shane Strickland. So it was great to wrestle him. Um, some more might come back to me. But yeah, they're the ones that come springs to mind. Actually, you know what? Sammy D from
all right.
OTT. I wrestled
Okay.
Sammy D from a debut at OTT, and I love that match as well because he's very good. Very, very good.
Yeah. I bet, yeah, mate. And again, like progress as a company, how do you see it now? Do you think it's in a solid place? Obviously, new owners. Well, we say new owners; they've been around now for a couple of years, but it seems like everything's on the up. Like the cards are really strong, stories are going into it. Great wrestlers like yourself, big feuds every month. Is it in a really solid place? Do you feel from a wrestling point of view?
Oh yeah, I feel like we have seen a transition period. It reminds me a little bit of when like Sir Alex Ferguson left Man United or
Right.
Arsene Wenger left Arsenal. They were
Yeah.
used to the same thing for a while. I think Arsenal's probably a better example, but yeah, it took a bit of time to the changes to adapt and the wheels to roll in motion. But then at the end, it becomes a stronger team, a stronger force. And I feel like this year, especially with the first announcement of Progress going to the States for Mania Week with GCW,
Amazing.
I really started to feel like things are falling into place now, and we're ready to get this as hot as possible. Like I know we can count on the roster, I know hard-working roster. I know we've got a hard-working team behind the scenes as well. So I feel like we've got the ingredients. Now we just need to cook up a storm.
Oh, mate, you will definitely do that. Dereiss, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing your match on the 25th of February. All the best, mate. You deserve the best all year, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much, mate.
Okay, cheers, mate.